What's up, man?
Hey, there we go.
I know for sure. Yeah, appreciate it, man. This is the Keyed Up Show, y'all. We have Rittz today. Thank you for joining me, man. So, how you been?
I'm good, man. Really good. Yeah, I'm really good, man. Really good. Chilling. Busy.
Yeah. I've seen a lot, man. You've just released something else today. I was just
Yeah,
playing it
I
earlier.
read.
Yeah. I was just jamming it earlier, and then last week too, or a couple weeks ago. Um,
Yeah, the
so
other feature. I've had
yeah,
some features coming out, keeping me busy.
yeah. It's exciting, man. Because I was just flipping through social media, and I've been seeing that you've been releasing new music. Like, yes, I need Rittz right now, man.
Thanks, man.
I
Thanks.
just
It's
been,
crazy. Oh,
yeah.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, yeah. I've just been just waiting for someone like you to like drop some new music. So it's exciting to see that.
Thanks,
So
man.
yeah, it's great to have you, man. Like, hope you're doing. I'm glad you're doing well and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, thanks for having me, dude.
yeah, absolutely. So, how did you start rapping, man? And when did it happen? Tell me about it.
Um, I started rapping in '92. Um, I think before that, I lived in Pennsylvania, like the middle of nowhere. So like the only thing they had up there was like LL Cool J and like
Yeah.
the Fat Boys and shit.
Oh
And
yeah.
then so when I moved to Atlanta, I started getting into rap. You know, kids on the bus or the neighborhood. A lot of people like Kilo in Atlanta was a local Atlanta artist, and he was like crazy, like raw, like
Yeah.
he had a song called Cocaine. And I was really into Kilo. And then I just got infatuated with Rap A Lot Records, man. I went in, just got everything from Rap A Lot. And that's basically what got me started from Rap A Lot. Willie D, I used to rap like Willie D, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of all people, for a little white kid in the suburbs to try to imitate like Willie D. But yeah, that's how it started, the initial. But it's a lot of other influences too, but that was definitely it.
Cool. And was there any other, I guess, like family members that played music, or you just kind of
Yeah,
got
my
into it
whole
another way?
family actually is
Oh
very
wow.
musical. Yeah, so it's crazy. My dad was pretty much in bands all the whole time I was growing up.
Yeah.
So he actually decided to hang that up, make that kind of life decision and move down to Georgia. That's why we moved here in the first place,
Mm.
because he was kind of like done with that. But yeah, my whole growing up, in the early 80s, I had, drum machines, recording equipment, shit other people didn't have,
Yeah.
simply because my dad just accumulated it, doing stuff. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't state of the art, but back
Yeah.
then, no one, it wasn't normal. And all my uncles, he's got 4 brothers, so everybody out of that had tried to make it in music
Hmm.
the whole time. And then my brother as well tried to his go at it. It's crazy, out of all the talented musicians in my family that can really play great instruments, the fucking rapper made it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They're like, come
But
on,
it
man.
must, yeah. I mean, it must have been meant to be in the family line. Like, not made it like that, but everybody had a dream of just being an artist for a living, in my
Yeah.
family. And I cracked the mold,
Yeah.
and it's pretty cool. I definitely come from a long line of musicians that wanted to be artists.
Yeah, I always love asking people that, man. Like, just because I'm a drummer, I'm a musician too,
Okay,
and
cool.
I got it from my dad. Like, I would see him play. Um, he's from Lebanon, so he would bring out these big
Okay,
hand drums and start playing them at family gatherings and stuff. And I would see that. I was like, damn, dude, I want to learn how to play drums.
that's
And
dope.
then just dove into all kinds of other stuff like production, uh, and all kinds of.
Can you play the hell out of the Lebanon drum, the
Yeah, yeah,
drum
yeah,
you
yeah.
play?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
good at?
Absolutely, man. Yeah. And
That's
then I
what's up.
got obviously I picked up the drum set, and then I was
What's
just
what's the drum called? What's that called?
it's called tarbake,
What's it
tarbake.
similar to?
So it's like the djembe drum. Like
Gotcha,
it's
gotcha,
it's
gotcha.
almost exactly similar, but the skins on like the like Lebanese Arabic drums are a little bit more like a snare drum kind of. They're loud as fuck. Yeah, they're
Gotcha.
super loud.
They're better. Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
right,
super
right.
loud, man. Like if you hit them down the room, dude, it's super loud. You'll be like, oh shit.
That's dope.
But
Yeah, I had a drum set like when I was a kid, man.
yeah,
And from that, my dad played drums too. And
that's cool.
yeah, I never was any good, but my brother was. So
Yeah.
it's fun, man. I love, man. I could watch people drumming all day.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Good stuff. So this is a crazy question. So how do you rap so fast, man? Because I always show people your stuff. Like even someone who doesn't even listen to hip hop,
Right,
I'll play you them. They'll be like, whoa. So kind of,
right.
I know there's not like it's a talent and things like that too. But what kind of maybe influenced you or got you to
Right.
spit
So
so much
when the
fire.
rapid fast thing, yeah, I didn't always. That really wasn't always my stick or my style. You know, it took me a while to really find what my thing was gonna be. Um, I started. You know, Twista was the first one. Actually, the first was
Yeah.
the Fushnikins.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Now I hate to not remember his name right now, but the rapper and they all rap kind of fast. But the one main guy that rap, he was crazy rapping fast, and like so it started there. I believe that was like 91 or 92. I heard them, and so I started dabbling with it. Then I heard Twista, and then when Twista came out, I was really like, I was just blown away by Adrenaline Rush. So I started just trying it, you know.
Yeah.
But here and there, I'd like because I always made albums like records at the crib, underground shit,
Yeah.
you know, burnt CDs. So like I'd throw like a couple double time ones on there just to try it out. And then I think it all came to like Twista is one of those guys. Same thing with anybody that raps double time. If you listen to him too much, you'll start rapping like them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I love Twista. He's one of my favorite rappers, but I didn't listen to him consecutively. Some people you just can't listen to like that because you'll end up. Let me think about the phone. You'll rap like Twista.
Normal conversation, people.
Right. So, but yeah, Twista was definitely the main fast rapping influence. What happened was around 2006. After the Lil Jon, you know, the 50 Cent era came about 2003 and Lil Jon about 2004. And that around 2004, the whole, in my opinion, my historian view, I think the tempo change made a big change right about 2005. And the South really took over at that point. And the tempo was so slow. If you just rapped on it slow, it was kind of like a T.I.-ish. And I was trying to figure out what, you know, one, I had been dabbling, like, what is my style? And I knew I was always good at rapping fast, so I started double timing over those slow beats. And at that point in time, I think that was 2008, no one was doing that. I mean, Twista, obviously, in Tech Nine, but Tech Nine was kind of always in his own lane. And, but yeah, Twista hadn't been out for a while, so nobody's doing it. So I, you know, that's how I found it, man. I was like, wow, this is it. This is my niche after all these fucking years. So it's crazy, though, man. I didn't really aim to be to be known as like, wow, he's fast. But yeah, I get it though. You know, sometimes like I'll play shit for my wife and she's like, I didn't understand the fucking word. God damn. You know? Yeah. But because to me I hear everything. Yeah. So yeah.
That's always cool, man. Yeah, because it's and I saw that like Twista influence too. Like, and that's cool because I know that last full album you put out in what was it, November 2019? Like Wake Up Call with Twista.
Yeah. I had him on Bounce too a few years ago. Yeah. So like to get to work with him again, to get to work with Twista was just amazing to me because I mean he's definitely in my top 10 of, you know, best rappers of all time.
So how did that feel? It was probably pretty rewarding, right?
Yeah, it was cool. It really is, man. It was really cool. You know, sometimes it's like, you know, you get so jaded and you got to sit there and soak it in. Like, hey, man, that's Twista right there. You remember when you was a kid, like, man, you know, like, and when someone like that's so cool at the same time, it just makes it even better. It's like, wow, man, he's actually a cool ass dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's only being in my age group and just being around, man. I really don't get and I'm not against being starstruck at all. If I see Bobby Flay walking down the street, I'm gonna be like, Bobby, you know. But rappers wise, you know, I don't really, you know, I've been in there so long. There's only a couple that I really get like, whoa. Yeah, you know, Twista is definitely one of them.
Especially being a fan, it was probably like super trippy, man.
That's cool. What I'm saying. Like, I'm not like a fan enough to be like, of just like, and I'm just not just to be like, whoa, I can't believe it. But he's definitely one of those guys.
Yeah, that's cool. Man. Super cool. So tell us about, so your first major debut, The Life and Times of Johnny Valiant, was released. But I think was it Strange and Universal? Yeah, and the album was like a super big inspiration to a lot of people, along with all the other music released. But this album was like, I mean, story after story. And I actually worked at Universal. I was interning for them. They assigned us you. Yeah, we worked. They actually, I was in Houston, the Texas market. But I remember they were like doing guerrilla marketing for your shows. Right. And we did like just videos of fans talking about the record and how it just inspired them or motivated them to get out of a relationship or like any addiction issues or anything like that. Right. So what inspired that album? Because it's just, to me, I still play that from the production to the lyricism,
Yeah.
to the
I think,
storylines.
it's weird. Like, I don't know. It was just like, it just came to one. It's like one of those things, like, I guess all those years leading up to it was
Yeah.
like, especially it was right on the edge of before streaming just took over everything. So
Yeah.
like, it was still like for me that little kid dream of holy shit, I signed a record deal. My album's gonna be in the stores. This is it. This is it right here. So I think it was critical, like certain songs, like My Interview, and certain things that just like, well, one, like I had to lay out who I was as an artist to everybody. So like letting them know that I am personal and do that type of shit. And I don't know, man. It was just, you save up all that shit for your debut and you're like, wow, this is actually my debut. And when it comes together right,
Yeah.
That's basically what happened. I mean, a lot of it I wrote on the bus with on the first tour I went out with Yelawolf. I wrote a few of them, a good bit of them on the bus. And I normally don't write like that. But I don't know, man. Just it's cool. I look back at that album because it's a lot of people's favorites, right? So sometimes you want to go back and like see what is it that they like about that. Yeah. And for me, I make the music, and I'm like, yeah, it's not too much different than that one. And this one's kind of like when they hear it, when you're hearing about the topics. But there is some dope. I mean, to me, it's a great album, And I don't know, man. It just happened, man. It worked out great for me, man. It was exactly what I wanted the debut to be. I covered everything and worked with people. It just all came together right, man. The stars aligned for it.
Yeah. That's amazing, man. And do you have any kind of favorite records or albums of yours?
My favorite. Yeah. So my favorite album of mine is Last Call. It was my last album with Strange, which is not everybody else's favorite. But it's cool because I think with that one, I'd already been through the cherry hip hop, you know what I mean? The bubble hip hop, like, all right, I see what the music industry's like. Yeah. And then I've been through the album where I was mad at it. I've been through the album where I was fucked up. And then this one was like, I know how this is going to go. I know how it's going to get promoted. I know how far it's going to go. Yeah. Let me just this is my last album on this label. Let me make the type of rap music I really love to listen to. And I just aim to do that on that one. So I think that's why I like that one the most. Yeah. But I really like, I like all of them, man. I mean, that first one, though, Life and Times of Johnny Valiant, that shit, so it's a pretty goodie to me, you know what I mean? Yeah. I think on that album, Wasting Time with Big Crit is probably my favorite song, one of them I've ever made. It's kind of hard to pick, but yeah, that's one of my favorite songs I've ever made.
So I have a good question leading on to that. So if you had to have let's say you're in the stage and like one of your, like all 10 of your favorite artists are watching, all your fans are there, what would be 10 songs you would play? What would be your set?
10 songs. I would definitely start it off with top of the line intro. I would say My Interview, but speaking in a live session, you wouldn't be able to hear it clearly. But My Interview kind of explains who I am. It's like, oh shit. And I do like the ones fans like, the switch lanes is in my zones and stuff, the hooky ones, but Wasting Time. I don't know how many we're at now. Sleep at Night. I'd probably just cover the main ones, man. But I throw a little. I'm a B-side guy. Like I like all my dark records and so I'd have to throw a couple of those in too. But it'd be hard to pick, man. I got a lot of songs, but it's hard every time I go on tour.
Man. Yeah, like going through the album. I was going through your albums last night. It's like, dude, there's so much. There's so many songs now, and it's crazy. Yeah, because I got introduced to you through Yelawolf, like when Yelawolf was coming up.
Shout out to Wolf.
Yeah, right. And then, so tell me about that. How did that happen, man? Like, did he reach out to you, or y'all were introduced to each other?
Yeah, basically introduced. So what happened? Yeah. I had been doing stuff in the Atlanta area for years, and but I was more in, I came up a different. Well, I can't say I came up a different way than he did, but I mean, obviously I did because we're not the same person. Yeah. But I can't speak on his story, you know what I'm saying? Because I know he's done a lot of the same shit. But in my situation, I was doing a lot of strip clubs. I was in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Really just waiting at 3 a.m, being the only white boy in there. Motherfuckers are snap dancing and goddamn getting crunk. Depends on what era it was. I mean, I went through all of them from the 90s to 2000s. I was out. Damn. And so after that was really frustrating to me. I'll get to the point with Yelawolf first, but that's kind of how it gets there. It was all frustrating to me trying to play that Atlanta urban market you know, trying to figure out, because the style changed so much, everything was changing. And I'm a lyricist guy at heart. You know, I like making records and songs. And so I was kind of hating to stay in clubs all night, man, for people to just stare at you like, hey, man, good job, man. You killed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
So I'm like, where the fuck do like rappers perform where like people like watch? Do I got to move to fucking New York or some shit? Like, you know, where does this happen at? Because I live in the fucking suburbs. It ain't happening out here either. So Yelawolf, I met my manager, my current manager, Transcend. He had hit me up on MySpace with Jay Proof, who made the White Jesus beat, and they were buddies. They were in a group called Dixie Mafia, and in that group was Yelawolf. So I looked him up on YouTube, and I was so desperate at that time about to quit because I'd been in it so long. I was like, man, let me go see what they're doing. I was like, you know, and no offense to Wolf, but the way I worded it, like this looks like some white boy underground backpacking dudes. Maybe I need to get in touch with that kind of crowd. Yeah. Because there was a place called the Apache Cafe in it. And they did battles and shit. And that was that underground Atlanta scene that me and my friends weren't familiar with because we weren't like city graffiti guys. We didn't grow up like that. Yeah. So he was in that circuit and mixed with what would now be the hipster circuit. And he was killing it. So my manager was like, yeah, let's go out and watch the Yelawolf show. That's my boy. So we went down to a spot. I met him, saw him do his thing on stage. He killed it. You know, he's a great performer. And we just met. Next thing you know, he heard my music, and he was like, "Man, let's do a song." He came out to my house, my parents' house, and nice. we did a song called Double Barrel. Yeah. And then he left, and then he hit me up and just kept talking about wanting to work. But I had worked with so many people at that point in time. I was so just dead. Everything financially was bad. I was fucked basically in life. We were all getting kicked out of the house, and so I didn't put too much stock into how much this dude could help me. To me, he was on the same level as me, another white boy rapper. We're here, but except he's really in these crowds that I want to be in front of. Yeah. But he called me back, man, wanted to do Box Chevy. So we went and recorded Box Chevy, basically to wrap it up in a nutshell. Then he ended up doing Trunk Musik, blew the fuck up, and was like, yo, I'm going to have you be my hype man. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know if he needs a hype man. I've seen him perform. We're two different people. And then he just disappeared for like 8 months. So I was like, well, that's it, you know. And it's not like a friend of mine, like, yo, man, what the fuck? It's like he didn't owe me shit. So I was just praying like that was my last way in. And he hit me back, man, like 8 months later and was like, yo, man, I got time at Tree Sound if you want to come up here and record. And that's just how it happened. His initial plan was to start a label, Slamerican, with me as the artist. But at that time, he was such a new artist, man. It was too hard to focus on other people. It's totally understandable. Yeah. And he helped me get the deal with Strange. So since he couldn't help me out any longer.
Strange Music. Yeah. And tell me about Strange Music, man, because I've been, when I heard of you, then I heard about Tech Nine and Strange Music and the whole.
Oh, you heard it backwards like that, huh?
Yeah. I heard
that
the other
never
way,
happens
man.
to me.
Yeah. I heard the other way, man. Like I heard you first because of Yellow, you know, and then it went to Strange Music, Tech Nine, and I just found out the whole deal.
That's
there.
A good feeling, man. You know that doesn't happen much. I'm like, that'll work. It's funny how quick you can get viewed as like if you hear tech first and like me as a strange artist, or vice versa. If you didn't know Yelawolf and heard me, I never run into that one. Those are good too. That's cool. Nah, that's cool though. That's cool. You got introduced to me a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, tell me about Strange Music. That's amazing.
I met them through Wolf. He was doing a session with them at Tree Sound Studios. He was doing Worldwide Choppers, and I think it goes back to when that conversation he had with me, like, you know, he couldn't help me out any further besides like, you know, pushing me and helping me as much as he could. As far as signing me, it wouldn't happen. So I think he was like looking to help me get somewhere. Yeah. You know, so he introduced me to Tech and them, and he thought that might be a good fit. And at the same time, Willpower, who produced Trunk Musik, was doing a lot of work with Tech on his album. So Will was talking to my manager and telling him about how they had it going on out there. So it just kind of made sense to us because we didn't want to sign to a major. Yeah. So we thought that was the move to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Which is cool. That's what I say. It's cool you kind of know that because most people know it the other way. So they kind of, you know, they just see it. I didn't know Tech Nine at that point. I knew him from '96 from the Tupac gang-related soundtrack. But other than that, I kind of fell off from where he was at. Yeah. But so I had to play catch up and see what was going on myself.
Yeah. It's cool, man. Because when I found out about you, it was all just kind of like a pattern how it happened. It's crazy. It was just some good times of music. and all that stuff. So, and yeah, I'm glad you're still around. So, speaking of that,
Yeah.
like, what motivates you every day? What inspires you? It could be music, anything.
My bank account.
Yeah,
Nah,
I'm
dude,
talking about.
that's crazy. Inspires me to make music.
Yeah, just to keep
Well,
it going. You've been doing it for so long. It's
yeah,
amazing, man.
yeah. Well, one, it's funny you just said that that was a good period of music. What's crazy is, man, I it goes by so fast, man.
Yeah.
I look back and I'm like, I don't. All it was one long ass tour to me, because I was partying so much. So it's crazy. That's why it's hard to even answer what keeps me motivated now. I'm trying to find that motivation. I have found it. What keeps me motivated now is the fact that I have fans that actually give a damn, that really enjoyed my music. And sometimes that, is, I got to remind myself that, like, hey man, you actually got fans, bro. Like, you got motherfuckers that love your shit, so you deliver to them. They want to hear it.
Yeah.
Not too many. There used to be artists that inspired me. I'd go get the CD or when a new shit would come out. So then that would help spark a new flame under me to be like, oh, this year, ever since that last, whatever, Eminem dropped, that last Outkast album dropped, woo, I've been on something. I don't really have anything like that no more. So it's kind of hard to get inspiration from other music.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get it from other genres,
Yeah, that's interesting too.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about what do you think about, I guess, like this whole, I guess you can say, new the new guys,
New era
the
of
new
rap.
edge, the new era of rap and hip hop. Like,
I mean, you know what, man? I really don't. I think it's cool. Like I said, it's kind of weird that, like, I felt like I was just in a new era of hip hop. Like, whoa, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
I asked my manager, I was like, when did everybody become like under 18 and shit? What year did that happen? Like, where everybody, like, what the fuck year? And he was like, dude, that happened 2017 when you took that two-year break. It just, everything changed, the whole takeover of a new generation. And it really was a whole takeover. It was happening gradually, and then now it's just like, whoa, who's that?
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. I can't really hate on it. The only thing I could think of, though, is the only thing that I would have to say negatively about it. One is, I mean, there's a lot of negative shit I could say about, some of it, but a lot of it's influenced by how society is with social media and shit. Musically, I think there needs to be a little bit more variety. And I don't know if that blames it. I'm not really blaming it on the young people or this generation. I think it happens in music. I think I thought about this the other night. Right now, where rap music's at, in my opinion, and this isn't to diss anybody, this is just what I think. It reminds me when 80s hair bands took over in the 80s and nothing else got played and everything was like, wow, and and everybody sounded the exact same, looked the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, but Bon Jovi plus all those other, I mean, nothing got played unless you did, like, so Michael Jackson and some shit back down there until Nirvana came out. And then that same thing happened in the 90s for a second there with grunge and all that type of shit, alternative music. I don't know, man. I wish there was a little bit more variety, but there is a bunch of variety as far as where the platform is now, right? The internet, so there's variety if you look for it. But what you hear on the radio all day and what you get shoved down your face is what's hot. A lot of it, and I don't, music's always sounded similar, what's hot for a time, but I just wish there was a couple more, throw in something, you know what I mean? Like, a little bit of variety, man. It's I don't think there's enough variety. It needs a balance.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of just dull, no color.
Yeah, and I'm really, and it doesn't have, like, everybody, I get it for certain sounds and style, but man, when everybody does you don't know, and it's like, even after, like, obviously that's like the Migos flow, what they started with, and Bone did it back in the day. It's nothing they invented, but they made it popular, and everybody raps like that, everyone. And then it's been like fucking 4 or 5 years, man. Like, find another goddamn cadence.
Yeah.
And now the new cadence is all this singing shit.
Yeah.
Which is cool too, but let's have a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But instead, it's just one fucking thing. So that would be my negativity about the new shit.
Yeah.
The positive shit is, man, it gives a lot of young dudes, man. I not envy them, but I think it's really dope that those dudes at that age can get out there and really get hot that early. They really have some time to make something themselves, man, and do something with it. So that's cool.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Those points were like definitely spot on because now there's two sides. Like you have all these like independent artists have all these opportunities, you know, to promote their music, do social media, and now I love this new thing of texting. I don't know if you've heard about that. Like an artist can basically like do make a website, like a certain part of the website where the fan can go, put their phone number, and then that artist like texts them. And
No
like
shit, is that the new move?
That's a new move, man. I've been seeing so many people jumping on it. Yeah, just
That's
because. Yeah, it's cool because now I was interviewing another guy the other day. His name is Spencer Ludwig, and yeah, he told me that he's on Instagram and stuff. Like he talks to people still all the time. He's still posting stuff, but he did this texting thing recently, and he says he's just finding like just the most real fans he's ever found.
Oh yeah,
versus like just social media. So it's pretty crazy.
That is pretty cool. Yeah. I always thought that'd be like something like that. You know, it's kind of like the Mike Jones back in the day giving out his numbers, just on a new level. You know, they're doing the Mike Jones this day and age. That's tight though. You know, it's like it's so crazy, man. It's like since you told me that, I got to figure out now, or as artists, we all should figure out.
Yeah.
If you're giving me the scoop on that's what's hot right now, we got to think about what's going to be hot after that dies. It's like, God damn, man. You know, what's coming after that next then if I'm going to be late on that by the time we get started.
Yeah.
So much shit. But that is a cool idea, though. Very cool.
I'm about to get a whiteboard, man, and like start planning ahead for the next 2 years. Like what's coming up next.
Yeah. I mean, you really got to, man. I mean, it's like soon. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, I know TikTok's like hot and shit.
Yeah.
Like, but like, I remember I was getting told like, hey man, you got to make a TikTok page. You got to do this. And then like a couple weeks later, nah, well, what everybody's doing now is like, holy shit, man.
Yeah. Keeps changing.
Yeah. But texting's cool. I wonder how they keep just do it from a private number, I guess.
Yeah. You get like a private number and then the fan like subscribes. So it's a subscription
That's
model.
Tight. Oh, I'm joining the club,
yeah,
man.
Right?
Put me on game.
Yeah, that's cool,
tight.
Man. So speaking of that, like we've been dealing with this pandemic, shows are on hold.
Yeah.
People want to go to shows, especially the artists, fans.
Yeah.
So how have you been kind of dealing with that? And what do you think about like virtual shows and all that kind of stuff?
I mean, I think all of it's unfortunate. You know, obviously, I mean, for just the Corona shit period, whatever's going on, you know, we all don't, you know, there's so many people that believe different things.
Yeah.
Regardless, the world's different right now, whether you believe in what's happening or not, whatever your approach is to it. So just the overall vibe in the air, and I know that wasn't your question, but I think it's just unfortunate anyway, just all this shit that's going on.
Yeah.
And but for me, I've been touring for so many goddamn years, and I've been, you know, I'm so used to being under the not in a good space financially. I'm used to, you know, not having shit lately, so I'm not missing touring the shit.
Yeah.
I'll take it, in other words.
Yeah.
But I do, you know, it sucks for the fans and, you know, that want to come out to the shows, and I'm definitely not taking them for granted, buying tickets and coming to see me, because God knows I love that, and that's my job, and that's what keeps me, you know, working.
Yeah.
Virtual shows are cool if they can, you know, work.
Yeah.
What I hate to do with a virtual show, I'm worried because I just don't like anything that it's got to be solid. I don't want to try anything that fucks up the fans' experience, or like where you have to refund the money, or, you know, just disappointing them. So some of that I'm a little skeptical about. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I do think it's cool that they are finding these ways to do that, you know, as far as those type of shows and shit, to fill the void for the time being. It's kind of scary. Like, you kind of wonder, will it ever go back the same? Will it ever be the same? What will a live show be like? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
It's sad too, because for me, and that's what I said about the bank account shit earlier, man, you know, it's like, that's my main source of income. So, a lot of us artists that, you know, that live off that money that we make touring and make it stretch for so many months until we go back out again, and it's definitely hard.
Yeah,
definitely hard.
So it's interesting because I've been seeing more and more reports. Like one of the that's like festivals he was talking about, but I think it was like the Lollapalooza. One of the co-founders was interviewed the other day, and he said that now every time they interview this guy, he keeps pushing back the concert years. I'm like, come on, man. So now he said 2022.
Yeah, I mean they can't. I know why too, just because I'm like, well, you probably do too.
Yeah.
But I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. Go ahead.
No. Keep. I want to know what you're saying.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm dealing with it right now. You know, the problem is, you know, I'm supposed to be on the tour with Strange Music, opening up for Tech-9 on his new tour. They postponed it, and they had Jelly Roll on it and got me on it. Postponed it. I had to cancel 2 tours. So now with this tour, I'm like, I know this tour isn't going on, guys. When are we announcing this shit? Like, not that I know, but no one, you know, there's so much invested. They got to just keep pushing it back and kind of. They can't not tell you a year. Like, it might not be 2022. So, like, 2022 comes, it might say 2023, but they have to lock down those dates early enough with who's booking this shit and play make-believe. And everybody's just like, okay, let's hope 2022's it. And, you know, you just got to keep trickling people along so you can you don't go out of business. But, man, it's fucked up right now. I mean, and for everybody across the board. But, fuck, man, it's fucking weird.
It is. It's a weird time, man. And I've been seeing... Besides virtual, I've been seeing a big thing now, like drive-through concerts.
I saw that too.
And it's a cool. I like the idea. I'm trying to think how. I don't know. It just.
Well, shout out to Trap So Gwen Run Strange. You know, he was actually. I was kind of like not eavesdropping. He was talking to us. I was kind of picking up on some of that. He was. I don't want to misquote him, but it was something like, if you're not a huge artist, like fucking Garth Brooks or some shit or whoever, you know what I mean? If you're not, like, the capacity doesn't make sense. It won't equal out for ticket costs and capacity. I mean, you would have to, it's something like that. In other words, you got to be a pretty big artist to make that profitable. Yeah. To be able to do the drive-through thing. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's some hustlers out there that can finesse it and get some cool shit. It's a way. And hey, I'm down to do anybody who wants to pay some money or even come see me rap for free. Anybody wants to see me rap, period, on stage. I mean, I appreciate any way I could get to them, but you know, you do have to make some money. So that's what I was hearing, how that's kind of hard. I think you got to be a pretty big artist to make that be worth your while and worth everybody's while that's working for it.
Right. And it seems like a lot of planning too. Like, I guess your parking space will be your seat. You know, like you go to the bathroom, like what?
Well, you're stuffing 6 people in a car too, and it's like how to regulate that and. Just what the fuck in a car watching it's just crazy, man.
It is, man.
It's wild. I mean, that's why, you know, that's why I have been enjoying the time off. So that's I guess, you know, I appreciate all the fans, but I just tour so much. I will say it feels once I heard that I'm not going on tour, it's like, whoa, you mean I could record 2 albums, do all these videos, and I'm gonna see family on Christmas and fucking Thanksgiving. I'll be here for Halloween. Like, oh shit, this is weird. I haven't been home. I haven't not toured since 2010, so it was 10 years.
10 decades, man.
First time.
That's crazy.
So, hey, taxes will be good next year.
That's cool, man. Good stuff. So going on a little bit. So there's. You dealt with some stuff, and everyone goes through struggles and things like that. So tell me about, you recently became sober and all that kind of stuff. And I've seen that every Saturday.
Like Saturday sobriety.
Yeah, and that's, dude, that's incredible. You don't see that you need to see that more in other artists with their fans, that connection you have. So what kind of brought the idea of starting that?
It's cool, man. You know, it's like you were saying about the tech stuff. I was going to mention that earlier. So that's been giving me that feeling, you know, that close connection. What started with that was the Corona thing. First of all, you know, everybody's quarantined, and you know, with the TikTok conversation, my manager's like, dude, everybody's live. I mean, you got to start going live more. And I was like, man, I feel so corny hitting up another rapper like, yo, what up, bro? You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing nothing fun here. You know what I'm saying? I'm drinking this coffee like a motherfucker. You know, so I'm like, you know, I can't go on there and rap new music. You know, I mean, I guess I can go on there and talk. I'm like, I want to do something live, but I want to figure out something with the fans where it can be something I can give back to or like include everybody else. So what can I do? And he was, you know, he gave me the idea, man. Why don't you do that sobriety thing, man? Go on there and talk about your shit every week. Well, it's a great fucking idea. And, you know, it's just genuine. I think that's why it comes across like that, because that's all it is at the root of it. It's just, hey, I'm sober. Let's take an hour or 2 out. And if you guys going through the same shit I am, give you a platform to talk to me and Dude, I look at that shit, man. To be honest, bro, I look at that sobriety shit and I'm just in awe by it. Even if it's 40 people or 100, 200, whatever. I just like, man, it's weird. It's just weird that I'm like, y'all is sitting on here waiting to talk to my fucking ass. And I'm like, it's just weird, man, because I'm in the same boat they are.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here trying to be sober, too. And I think for some of them, worse, some of them on there drinking and shit. And it's like, yo, man, I'm not having a hard time behind the smile right here, dude. Like, but yeah, man, it's been really, really cool, man. It's been making me feel so good inside, like as far as like some of the messages and just you could just tell it helps people. It helps me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's amazing because it gives people, I don't know, because it gives people that outside perspective of like, why are you sober, dude? What are you talking about? Like, there's always the criticism, but like, dude, no, man, you haven't been through that. This shows what it's really like, what the things they've dealt through, and it's kind of great that you're putting that on your platform.
I think a lot of people too, like, and they're gonna see I think they saw with the last album, but they'll see again even more. Like, people don't know. Some people get sober and they come out all preachy, or they, you feel very boring. So some people lose their personality. So a lot of people, and I'm not the most candid. These interviews like this give people more insight to how I am, but I'm not, when the cameras go on at somewhere, I'm not like, talking that much. So a lot of people don't really know my real personality. So I don't know. It's good, man. It's a good thing. People are really getting to know me and everything else, and it's just showing them that was my point. So I was forgetting. It's showing that you don't have to be fucking boring. You got a rapper sitting here talking to you right here. I'm in the same shit, smiling, fucking making jokes, talking to y'all motherfuckers. Like, let's just get through this, man. If drinking fucks us up, let's just move it. So it's been really dope.
Yeah, for sure. Cool, man. I love that. And speaking of that, like, you've been super active the past couple weeks. Like, you filmed a bunch of music videos, right? In like a short amount of time. Or you're about to? Okay.
Yeah, I just did too. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I haven't done this like I haven't done this type of stuff since 2010, and even then, like I said, it was a little bit different game. The video guys that have you set up, and you trying to be all Hollywood and shit, and just show up on set and rap.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Now I got my own company. I'm doing this. I don't have employees. I don't have a team. I don't have none of that shit. It's just me. And so, man, I've been running around doing a lot of, I got to get this, that, making lists, man, so it's good. It's good for me, man. I feel like I have a job, you know what I mean? But it's crazy. Like right now I'm in the thick of it. Just literally this morning and everything else. I've just been on the phone all morning looking at, cars to rent, locations, but it's cool, man. I got a lot of shit. Yeah, like 6 videos coming out. Damn. And everything's coming together, man. This fucking album, man, is killing me because I'm sitting on more music than I ever have in my life.
Nice. That's exciting.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hear it, man.
Yeah, it's like kind of like,
cool.
It just sucks, man. I don't want to tease it or do something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's cool, man. Well, I'm sure once you release it, it'll be fun. It'll be.
Oh yeah. Because it's good because like we were thinking it was coming out like June or July, but since it didn't, hopefully August, September-ish. And then I got a Christmas album coming right after that. Okay. Then right after that, another album. So finally, for the first time, people are going to stop. It's not going to be, damn, Rittz only puts out music once a year or something. Man, I'm going to hit them over the head and really get with. I can start actually releasing music on a more off, daily basis or weekly basis.
Dude, exciting, man. Well, thank you for joining us today, y'all. This is Rittz. Appreciate having you, man.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate the interview.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah. We'll chat more in the future.
Yeah, man. Let's do something when the album comes out. Let's do anytime, man.
Absolutely. All right, man. Yeah. We'll take care.
Yeah, thank you very much, bro.
Sure, man. See you later.
All right, dog. Peace.